All right. Hey guys, Jason Dutch here with Voice from the Underground, the podcast. Just real quick, excuse me, just real quick, wanted to jump in and do a quick election post day. It's election day 2 analysis and thoughts on what's been happening. Talk about what I got right, what I got wrong, and we'll go from there. So, first of all, big news. Joe Biden, NBC News, 5 minutes ago, has been declared the winner in Wisconsin. Real RE96, thank you for joining the stream. See, we're already up to 50 people on stream right now. Michigan is, what's the slogan for Michigan? At least it used to be. Living in Illinois at the time, you'd always see the ski commercials. Yes, Michigan, the feeling's forever. I can't sing, but I can say yes, Michigan. Thank fucking God, Michigan has been called for Joe Biden. He is up by about 0.7%, 0.8%, 0.6%, depending on whose data you're trusting. There's still more ballots to be open, so we expect, because those are mail ballots, that will be widened. Wisconsin earlier, about 2.5 hours ago, 3 hours ago, was called also for Joe Biden. So let's take a look at where we're at, and also for those of you who tuned in to my pre-election show a couple of days ago, as my microphone keeps moving on me here. I'm going to share that screen real quick. I might have someone else join me on stream. I did invite others. To get to 270, it looks like a stylized way of saying Jurassic. That's awesome. Love it. You guys, if you want to subscribe on YouTube, please do. It's important to the show for independent media. You can find us at youtube.com/voice from the underground podcast. Again, Voice from the Underground podcast, youtube.com/voice from the underground podcast. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/VFU podcast. So Nevada is right now, and I'm going to share a screen here. I'm going to show you guys. This was my interactive map. Again, courtesy of 270towin.com. Get yourself some honey sesame chicken breast, I guess. But this was my prediction. This was not a prediction I wanted. This was my fuck America, America sucks. And this is unfortunately what I think is going to happen prediction, because I believed that the polls were off by 6.5%. And I was true to that. Turns out I was wrong. Or at least it's appearing that I was wrong. But not by much. So where did I get it wrong? And how crazy is this? So first of all, Maine's 2nd district. I thought it was going to be a split here, but it was not. It looks like Maine is going to go to Biden getting 3 of those votes. So we'll flip that here real quick. And Nebraska, we called it right with 1. Now, you move Arizona, that's the state I got wrong. So I got 1 fucking state wrong. Now, granted, I thought Michigan and Wisconsin were going to come in big time. I did not see it being 0.6, 0.7, 0.8%. There's still hope here for Pennsylvania. Not much. Let's just take a quick peek here and see if we have any. Paula Bella, in case you're looking at your Facebook comments, the Republicans are about to dodge a major bullet. Elaborate on what you're talking about, because I'm not looking at Facebook right now. So Paul is a political genius. Paula Bella, by the way. Guy knows his shit. So take a look at, let me know what you're talking about there, and I'll talk about that. But again, back to the map. North Carolina. So officially, this is the way the map looks. Okay. Now I'm going to give you the real perspective on this, not the media bullshit. So it's possible that Wisconsin and Michigan could be wrong in recount. It's highly, extraordinarily unlikely because you have a 20,000 vote lead in both states, actually slightly larger in Michigan, from what I understand, maybe 1,000 more. Arizona, the Trump campaign is saying they shouldn't have called it. Kevin McCarthy came out and said they made a mistake in calling it. There are still some outlets that have not. Okay. But either way, these states right here are leaning. We'll even give Trump these too. These states right here are leaning towards Joe Biden significantly enough, where 7,000 votes in Nevada, 100 and something thousand votes in Arizona, and about 22,000 respectively in Wisconsin and Michigan. So you turn all that blue, and there you go. Fuck. So it's possible Georgia could still come. I think it's the most likely of those that are out, my personal opinion, more likely than Pennsylvania. But we'll leave it with Trump until we know otherwise, because we expect the worst sometimes, and it's kind of the way that it goes. Because we get disappointed by our friends and family members and neighbors. But I got Arizona wrong in one congressional district in Maine. One. Sad to say that I was so close. Glad I was wrong, but sad to say I was so close. This is an indictment on the United States of America. This is an indictment on the Democratic Party. This is an indictment on the Democratic National Committee, the DNCC. These fucking people damn near blew it, and still might have, but it doesn't look like they did. It looks like they escaped by the skin of their teeth to a guy who is completely incompetent. So please send on the trade that I sent from Charles. Thank you. Talking fantasy football. Fantasy football analogy. I feel still like I'm playing fantasy football right now. And Paul, I'm going to read your comment. I feel like I'm playing fantasy football, and it's Monday night, and I'm up by 20 or so, but the guy I'm playing has a kicker and a wide receiver. And I'm still worried. So Jurassic again, Trump campaign is still sending emails asking for donations. What's that about? Let me read. I'll get to that one sec here. I want to keep this video somewhat short. But Paul's comment: if Trump actually wins, the Republicans have to deal with all the fires that his administration has been setting the last 4 years. Assuming a Biden win, not only does Biden spend an inordinate amount of time fixing all of the broken, deep in the background stuff, but then he's not getting any wish list stuff done for at least 2 years. The biggest, longest term Republican nationwide is a Biden win. Makes sense? Fucking absolutely. So yeah, here's the problem. Senate stayed with the Republicans, it appears. So you know what that means? It means Biden's not going to get shit done in 4 years. Okay. The question becomes, when does Trump 2024 start trending, if not already? Now, I don't think there's many people doing that right now because his team is so focused on the fact that this one's a cheat. But, once, we get maybe a week or so from now, and if it stays the way it is, and we don't have to go through 37 days of hell like we did in 2000, Trump 2024 is going to start trending. Now, whether or not he runs again, I don't know. He'll be about, maybe a year older than Joe Biden is now. In 2024, 2023 is when the campaign would start, and he'll win. easily. So we might have to go through all this shit again because Biden's not going to be able to do shit. Why am I so negative? Yes, but this is why we have to get down. We have to get dirty and we have to fight these fucks. Okay. You're hearing this from a guy who's a registered libertarian, not a Democrat, not a progressive. I share a lot of ideals with these people, a lot of them. But the Democratic Party is a fucking joke. It's a mess. It's incompetent. It's corrupt. It's establishment. It's funded by money and PACs and oil and healthcare. And this is what they care about. They keep moving to the middle instead of standing pat where they were at. You don't really have to move to the left. Just stand pat where you're at. So we're in trouble. We're in trouble not only because Biden might not get anything done. We'll be in the same situation again, hearing from Ben Shapiro and hearing from Charlie Kirk and hearing from Candace Owens and hearing from Rush Limbaugh and hearing from Tucker Carlson and all these idiots, most of whom are idiots, on look at what they've done. They've done nothing because Mitch McConnell is going to continue to block everything because the Democrats are weak. And Nancy Pelosi is not a genius. Unless Trump is indicted and found guilty. Dream on 03. There we go. So let's pray that's because I think that the Southern District of New York is going to charge him with something. I don't know what yet because they've been pretty tight-lipped on it. But let's be honest. He's got lots of money and he's got lots of privilege and he'll probably buy his way out of it. You know, it's better to be rich, white, and guilty than black or Latino and innocent. This is America. Especially when 50% of the country thinks you're King Cyrus reanimated, literally. For those of you who don't know, that's a Bible reference from Isaiah. So, biggest fraud in American history, Vegeta 7949. I love that. Mark Phillips, they're raising money for all the lawsuits. All right. So real quick. Yeah. They, Mike, or Chris Wallace last night, right before Trump spoke, they were waiting for him to come out. He said he'd be out in 5 minutes and he didn't come out for like 15 minutes because he was sending an email asking for donations to help with the lawsuit. You know, as bad as that is, and it's bad, this is why Republicans keep winning. Because they give a shit about their voters and they give it and they rile them up and they keep them engaged and they make them feel like things are at stake. The Republicans do not do that. I'm sorry, the Democrats do not do that. They've got every policy right. They've got healthcare, they've got education, they've got prison reform, they've got economic policy, they've got trade, they've got international relations, they've got race relations for the most part. Not completely there, but they're on the right track. Economically on the right track too. Maybe not perfect. And they don't do enough for education. They should do more for equal access to education. They have some lackings, but these policies are far significant than the fear mongering on the right. Fear of this, fear of that, buy gold, buy MREs, stock up on bullets. That's fear. Okay, hopefully you guys can't hear the fact that the kids are here. I'm sure you can, but I'm a dad, so dad first. But the Republicans do a good job of staying in touch with their base and using these wedge issues. The Democratic Party is the Detroit Lions of politics. Abso-fucking-lutely. Mark Phillips, genius comment. Mark, you got to jump in with me one of these days. Mark from over at Massive Late Fee, the podcast, where he lives in the past 25 years ago. So right now he's under the reign of George W. Bush. Enjoy that. Dream on 03. Dems don't create loyalty like Republicans. Absolutely not. Just imagine the travesties that you can tie if you wanted to, and as they often do, the travesties that you could tie to being pro-life. And people will vote pro-life regardless, just because, and you can, whatever else you want to throw in that bucket with it, they'll accept it because of pro-life. Democrats are too fucking stupid to do something like that. They're in the right place on immigration for the most part. Open borders, but that's like 10% of the party. Okay. So, it's Bill Clinton, 1995. Okay. So not much better. A very conservative Democrat. When will the results be finalized? Chris, 1986. Thank you for the comment. Beats the fuck out of me. But I will say the Trump campaign has done things legally so far, at least in Wisconsin. They had 3 days to request a recount. If it's under 1%, they do have to pay for it, which is hence the fundraiser, because they're not within 0.25%. So they are acting within the guidelines of Wisconsin state law right here. So nothing illegal there. Stay tuned, because it's probably coming. So what let me stop my screen share here. So what are we looking at? From the UK. No worries, brother. We're probably looking at Thursday or Friday on the short end. I'm hoping Thursday or Friday before we know something. November 5th or 6th. Could be 3 weeks. They don't have to certify the election until mid-December, right before Christmas. So it could go into a court battle. 2000 lasted 37 nightmarish days and got the wrong result in all likelihood. What's funny is I love my 6-year-old son, but he's quiet as a church mouse all day long until I start podcasting in the bedroom. And then he decides that he wants to play some game and he starts screaming in the other room. So, but this is what we do in COVID America, right? So, on the day, yeah, well, you live in a far better country than we do as far as that goes. And I was listening to Sean Hannity. Yes, I was, because he plays on Bakersfield radio, and it's just astonishing, the fear mongering and the complaining about the election that's going on there and the disinformation. So it's a little bit hot. I'm in Bakersfield, so it's like 84 degrees today. Kevin McCarthy country. But nonetheless, let's look at the bright side. Good news. Okay. You can't wear him when his games, right? Among Us is a bitch, man. Every time I hear, I'm the imposter, and screams it so the neighbors can hear it. And I feel like I'm living in Among Us, because I feel like, we only won by 2 electoral votes. If we win by that, there is an imposter among us, and it's about half of the people in the group. And that's fucking scary, because I'll turn my back. Knife. I'm a little corpse with a bone hanging out. But again, let's talk about the good news. So again, Michigan has been called for Trump by NBC News and a couple of other outlets. Wisconsin was called for Trump earlier by Fox News and a couple of other outlets, most outlets now. Arizona was called for Biden. I think I'm sorry if I said Trump right there. Wisconsin and Minnesota were both called for Biden. And Wisconsin, and Arizona was called for Biden late last night by Fox News, by NPR, other agencies. So it looks like we won by the skin of our teeth. But now we got to get ready for the fight. And I mean in court. And I mean on the street. Because they're not going to take this lightly. They're not. I spent some time on Parler today. They're ready. Me personally, Chris, I am Biden all the way. And I will, I'm not a Biden fan. I don't think most people are. How could you be a Trump fan? How? Oh, it's great economy. Guess what? Here, prediction. Write this down. July of 2021, stock market will hit a new all-time high, regardless of who wins. Write it down. Summer of 2021, June, July, whatever. And regardless of who wins, stock market will hit an all-time high next summer. And then the year after that, it'll hit another one, regardless of who's in office. The presidency does not reflect on the stock market in any meaningful way. Little, not much. And that's the same with the economy. A little bit more effect on real GDP, but not a ton. Job growth also. This is a capitalist society. We owe mid-sized businesses for job growth, not the president. And by the way, Obama had more months of consecutive job growth at the end of his term than Trump had at the beginning of his. Fact. Facts don't care about your feelings. Right, Ben? So that being said, again, good news, right? Bad news everywhere still in America, but good news in a lot of ways that when I went to bed last night, I didn't think I was going to be at this time today feeling pretty good. So that's probably my wife. Talk to you guys later. We will be back later. Thank you to everyone who's listening. Again, support the show if you can by subscribing on YouTube. YouTube.com/voice from the underground podcast. Or you can find us on Twitter. Just follow me. The link's there to the YouTube channel if you look through my tweets. Or on Facebook. You can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/VFU podcast. We do have a Patreon as well, which I don't like to ask for money, but it's there if you want to find it. Patreon.com/VFU podcast. If you're hurting or off work, don't help. Don't help us. Keep your money. You got extra money to throw around? We can buy new mics and stuff. So on behalf of my co-host, Big Haas, and Mikey, we'll talk to you guys soon. And then this is the website here, vfupodcast.ulisite.com. Everything that you see, you can find there. So